Let me read to you something I got on Google here. The concept of the seven spirits of the Holy Spirit refers to seven distinct expressions or manifestations of the Holy Spirit, often associated with the gifts of the Spirit. These seven are the Spirit of the Lord, the Spirit of wisdom, understanding, counsel, strength or might, knowledge, fear of the Lord. Wow. What do you think of that? Well, I think it's a misunderstanding, simple as that. It's likely to be, of course. I mean, they're all children. Can I do better? No. By the grace of God, yes, but otherwise... It's a byroad. Recognize byroads when you meet them. Theology is a byroad. Religion is a byroad, of course. Careers are byroads. Even marriage is byroads. We learn a lot from byroads. We learn the way we don't want to go again. And I'm afraid that's what autobiographies are really about. We don't actually learn by review. We learn by having gone through. Oh, I didn't know that was coming. It was the experience of life that has been a blessing, not the re-experiencing of life. Leave it there, let it rest. Thank God that you're now nearer to Him. That's what counts. Love you, Heavenly Dad. Love you. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. I'm reminded that if it's this notion of the seven spirits were from the seven gifts of the Spirit, well, that's, where's it from? Well, it seems to come from Romans and 1 Corinthians, and therefore we would say it's Pauline. And as we've said, well, from a Jesus story point of view, Paul had an impoverished view. Of what the Jesus story would be. And that's understandable. Don't hold him to blame for that. Don't have to follow in his footsteps, though, thank goodness. There, but for the grace of God, go you or I. And this of all lessons is the lesson, isn't it? Don't struggle to learn by your own mistakes. It's so much easier to hunt out what is to be trusted. Follow good advice earnestly, modified according to your experience. Trusting all the while that God does indeed love you, is your Heavenly Dad, and you His child, and much loved. That He loves all His creation, and you will do well. Bless you. To the point, if you see, as in the Jesus story, that God is your Heavenly Dad, loves you, and assuming God is probably all-powerful, well, you can trust that that which happens to you is a blessing. And this trust will transform your life. Bring great joy, peace, hope, etc., etc. You know the list. Life eternal. You'll come to know God. Yes, you will come across teachings and advice and interesting, fascinating people and so on, saints and sages. But you will evaluate them from this perspective, that in your heart you trust that God is your heavenly dad, loving, kind, probably all-powerful. In other words, you will take all example and advice with a pinch of salt, so to speak. But your foundation is that God is your heavenly dad. So it was in John 17, is in John 17. I've given them your name, and they have believed that thou didst send me. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.